Hi, guys. Happy Sunday or Saturday, depending on where you are in the world. So, it's first thing in the morning here. Well, sort of. It's 7 a.m. And um, I just really felt like making a video for you guys. I wasn't really planning to, but I feel like there's a few things to talk about. So, I got a message from someone I'm going to have a role play today asking about how they're struggling with how to find an offer that aligns with their intention. Now, I don't even know if they saw my video um, earlier in this vlog series where I talked about I was going through a tough time to find a good offer, and as soon as I sort of shifted something in my mindset and my approach about how to really be more focused on being in alignment with myself and with the offer, everything else shifted. And so I think I mentioned that, but I didn't actually go into that. So I'm going to make a video today about that. So, what I mean by that is really it starts with what you value. And this might be a bit taboo to say, but we do not all have the same values, and that is okay. Like, some of us, our values may be rooted in I want to support my family, I want to be a millionaire boss of my own making. That may be your value. It's more monetary based. That's your right as a human being. And if that's your value, and if you have, I hope that you just operate within a moral framework and hopefully don't destroy people and clients on the way. But it's okay to have that as a motivation. Like, we would be lying to ourselves if we don't all have that in some way. But for some people, it's more so. Some people, it's really on the spectrum of serving, helping people, maybe even so far as charity. The thing about charity is that you give everything you have without expecting anything back. That's on the far end of the other spectrum. So you have these two sides of I serve myself, or maybe at least my family, or only my immediate family, and I'm only interested in making money. That's what I'm passionate about. And then there's the other side where you are truly you're serving others without anything in return. And then there's somewhere in the middle where you do both, but it's more like a philanthropy. I'm just trying to give this visual because it's important for you to understand, who am I? What drives me? This is also going to be really important to look into your past. Your experiences will shape who you are as an individual. And just even answer that question, because I don't even think we are encouraged to answer that on a daily basis. We're more encouraged to act as a consumer, or act as a horse in a race, basically, where we really need to look inside in order to control, in a way, what happens outside of our bodies. So, sorry, it's a very, very introspective topic to start off with, but what I mean first is, if you don't know what your goals are, if you don't know what your values are, how do you expect the world to reflect that to you? And this is something I also had to learn the hard way. Hey, like, this is not something I came out knowing. I've been through, guys, that you don't even know what I've been through. It would shock you, the amount of struggles, abuse, changes that at 32 years old is a lot to have experienced. And that's really, I'm very stubborn and very emotional in some ways. And I've had to learn that no matter how much you push in one direction, if it's not in alignment with your values or your path or your energy, you're always going to get pushback. And that's something in this universe that almost we can't really explain. It's something pretty spiritual. I don't have an answer. I'm not religious, but I think we all feel this in some way, whether we want to admit it or not. And there is something to this energy. Absolutely. This is law of attraction, manifestation, speaking your truth, being in alignment. There's so many ways we can word this or speak about it. There's so many cultures that believe in this. So yeah, to go on a long rant to basically say, first, you need to be super, super clear about what are your values and what are your goals. And be honest with yourself. Don't answer them because you think that's what other people want to hear, what your family or friends want to hear, what you think you should be. Be real with yourself. Take that all out of the way. What you think is acceptable or digestible. What is actually important to you? There is no wrong answer. Well, I mean, I'm thinking now the extreme, but as long as you're not a child abuser or an animal abuser or anything like that, like there is no really wrong answer. I mean, as long as your goal is not to be maliciously harmful to any other things, any other living things, there is no wrong answer. Okay, just wanted to preface that. As long as you're just being yourself and you're like a semi-decent human being. So start with that, because if you get really aligned with that, then everything else will come into place. And so that's kind of what happened with me. I realized I wasn't operating from a place of intention, a place of where I'm aligned with my goals, with who I am and what I want out of this. I came into sales to serve, to do good, to help other people. And yes, of course, I want to make a living, and there's an ability in this space to get to a very high income. But I've decided coming into this to do it my way, because I don't agree to get there. I would not get there by behaving outside of my morals. That's a price I will never pay. In fact, I left my last career, which was successful. I was making the salary that I'm now trying to make. But it was outside of my values and outside of what I believed was my purpose in life. And I didn't feel like I was giving back in the same way that I feel like I am now. Even though I'm not making a ton of money and it's very confusing and scary at times, I actually feel more in alignment. So back to high ticket sales. When I was really down that week, when I was just not hitting the interviews really well. I was applying to all these jobs, and some I got doors open to, but they actually set me back further. And I do talk about this in the other videos. I think it's really important to make sure you're on the right path, because if you go down the wrong path, then you have to unlearn, you have to rethink everything, redo everything. So make sure you're just like really, you have that beginning part really set. And then on that weekend, I just really locked in, realized nobody's coming to save me. I need to save myself. I took advice from people that have done the thing. They talk about, you got to put volume out there. And I just said, you have to say no to things. I said no to a few things, a life basically, or just, yeah, nothing else but working. I do have that luxury. Fortunately, not everyone has that luxury, but I basically sat down and applied. And particularly, I applied with attention. So what I did was look at every offer I was applying to, did research into you have to do this quickly. You have to definitely let time be your ally, not your adversary. But you need to, I looked into the background of the company to also closer into their metrics, sort of vetting the offer, what the company stands for. Would I even be happy to sell that product? Would I be even happy to work for that team or for that industry? And if the answer was at least a yes or a maybe, I applied. And I applied with intention in terms of I tried multiple ways of applying. I applied through the portal, through social media, and tried to also email someone I know in the company, hopefully at a higher standpoint. And every email message I wrote with intention. I really asked myself, why do I want to work for this company? I kept it concise, but I kept it impactful. And I also had more confidence at that point to sort of hype myself up in these messages to be like, I do deserve this. No, I wouldn't say that on the message, but I basically said, you won't be disappointed if you hire me. And I meant that. I meant every word, because I did really decide to apply to that job because I believe that I would be a great fit, and I know that I could do good in that company and I could sell their product confidently and excel at that. So once I started that shift, and it was really, like I say, inward, not as much external, because I was applying to offers before in sort of a similar way, but this time I did it with more intention. Each application was very intentional. Each message, all the messaging was intentional. And I also did multiple forms of messaging to that particular offer. That's where I got multiple interviews, and that's how I got onboarded onto 3 offers in the span of like 2 days, which I was really surprised by. But anyway, this video is going a bit long, but I wanted to give you guys just a little deeper dive into that, and I'm going to send this to the girl that asked me this question, and I thought it'd be easier just to make a video about it. And on a positive note, guys, I had my first live call last night, and it went well. They basically closed on the call. We had to get to a payment plan and that sort of thing, and the call did go over an hour. It went for 2 hours, actually. There was it was such a great conversation. It was a perfect first call. I couldn't have asked for anything better. I wasn't expecting that, because the person I was speaking to, I really respected and aligned with. It was like I was speaking to a younger version of myself. And through that, I had so much confidence to speak to them, because I knew what they needed to get them out of their situation. And I came onto the call truly with the intention. I knew if I went into the call thinking I need to close this, I need to make money or this or that, it was never going to work. It just wasn't. And that gave me a physical reaction as well, that's not aligned with my values. That's not why I'm doing this. Yes, I need to make a living, and that's scary, but I cannot go forward with this in that way. So I came on the call truly with the intention of, I'm going to help this person. No matter what, I am going to help this person. I am going to help them get clarity on their situation. And that's really all I would be happy to achieve. Great if it's a good fit with the program, which is a program I really believe in, and I do think helps a lot of people. But if it's not, then that's okay as well. I would do my job if I can at least understand them. What is their issue? Is it something I can help with from my life experience? And can I guide them as an outsider, an observer, to what the next best step is? And that's exactly how I approached the call. We had a fantastic conversation, and it ended with such a beautiful resolution of, I actually helped them overcome their fear and realize that they can put themselves first. They can choose themselves. And ironically, they were giving too much. They have so much to give, and they were giving it in so many other ways that just weren't serving them. I really understand that. I'm a giver myself. And that can hurt you. That can hurt to overgive. But sometimes it's just about your positioning. And that's kind of what I was saying with them, because if you're in alignment and you have the right portal to give, all this value that you have and all this intention and this good, it can really create something beautiful. The universe will respond. I really believe that. I have so much faith in that. And so yeah, I ended up signing them up, and they even asked, one of their conditions was would I be their accountability coach, which was huge for me. Like, I was so touched that they said that I helped someone in that way, and they said that they could see that I cared, and that they know I'm here to help them. And guys, like, I almost started crying on the call. That was the greatest gift for me, to know that I have that influence. I can actually help people in that way. I don't know what to say. Like, I'm just so grateful to have had that ability, to have that space to do that. Ironically, sales allowed that, and I hope I can help you guys with this video as well. So this is my intention, to help people, and I want to be as honest about it as possible. I'm going to tell you the ugly truth of things, because I think if you care about someone, this is in my culture as well, I'm half Chinese, you say the truth. You say the truth because you care. It's not because you don't care or you want to hurt people. It's because you care. Okay, enough ranting for today, but I really wanted to start the day by giving you guys all this energy I'm holding in since last night. And I really hope, I know this is a very long video, but I think it's worth talking. I think every word really is worth absorbing. And if there's anything that I've said so far that really is the most important, I think it's the content in this video. So thanks, guys. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments, and I'm very happy to respond to you and give you advice or whatever, in any way I can help. You can also reach out to me on Instagram, and we can just speak one-on-one. Thank you.